Tony Tukumbo Fernandez show is all about promoting the true life and success stories of African and Caribbean achievers around the world. If there's a product or initiative you wish to share, feel free to give us a call. The number is 0788 280 9005.
Okay.
A very warm welcome to all our listeners around the world. You're welcome to the Tony Tukumbo Fernandez show, promoting the true life stories of people making a difference around the world. So if there's an initiative you wish to share, feel free to give us a call. The number is 0788 280 9005, or visit our website at www.myfernandez.co.uk. It's all about promoting the true life stories of people making a difference around the world. And the show is all about promoting the true life stories of African and Caribbean achievers around the world. So this week, we're moving all the way to London. We have guests lined up for the rest of the year. So it's a pleasure to speak today to an amazing man. I've known him for very, very many years now. He's the new mayor-elect for Southwark in South London. He's also been the Labour and Cooperative Councillor for South Bermondsey in South London since May 2014. He arrived UK in 1986, where he's been living in Southwark, South London for quite a long time as well, and also the publisher of a book called Unbroken. An amazing community leader, international business consultant, specializes also in business and enterprise development, youth empowerment, women empowerment, mentoring, and so much more. So first and foremost, Councillor Sonny Lambe, so lovely to see you after so many years. How are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling great, bro. It's been a while. Nice to see your face again. Thank you so much. I mean, we've known each other now for almost a decade and a half, if I'm not mistaken. So it's great to see you again. Thank you.
Yeah, and most importantly, congratulations on your new position as the mayor-elect of Southwark.
Thank you.
So amazing to have a legacy of so many Nigerians and Africans who are becoming mayors around the country. And for the benefit of especially our listeners who don't live in London, who live around the country or different parts of the country, can you just tell me a bit about yourself, your background, and what inspires you as a person?
Well, I think you started very well, you know. I'm a Nigerian from Western Nigeria and Yoruba, and I've lived in the UK now for over 38 years. It's going to be 39 this year. I mean, you know, apart from being a doctor, I have PhD, so I'm a doctor as well. And all in business management, entrepreneurship, which I've been doing for over 30 years, as you read out. I'm a mentor. I'm an activist, you know, and, you know, I am very passionate about socio-economic empowerment to make sure that every human being has an opportunity to achieve their great potentials, you know, so that no single person is left behind. And of course, when it's difficult for individual, then the society, the community, the government must always have something in place to lift them up, a lifting hand, whether from individual or corporate bodies or government. I strongly believe in that. I believe in social justice.
Now, knowing you for so many years, I must confess, three things really stick out to me when I think about you. I think about leadership, I think about consistency, and I think about inclusion. And I say these things because I've been to many of your events and I've been following you for quite a long time. What would you say it takes to be a good leader these days that takes inclusion seriously?
I mean, a good leader is a leader is not somebody who does everything. A leader is somebody who makes other people feel important around him or her, who can achieve through the contribution of others, because Yorùbá sọ pé igbó igi kan kò ń dágbó ṣe. So no matter how brilliant you are, how intelligent you are, you cannot do it alone. So it is through your wit, your intelligence, your empathy, your ability to bring others around you, to make them feel good, to make them contribute. That what will stand you out as a leader. You know, even I remember there's a quote in the group we all, the Nigerian political minds where you and I belong to, which I put in that as a profile of that group. A leader is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that that impact lasts in your absence. So the moment when you are not there, things are not going well, something is wrong. Of course, sometimes it's not because of your inability to impart knowledge, to exact, power and influence. Sometimes you have the wrong kind of people around you. That's why we have to keep on evaluating the people around us. Sometimes some people we surround themselves with, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, family, friends. Only weak leaders will do that. A strong leader, confident leader, must prepare to be challenged. You must be prepared to even to work with your enemy. Sometimes I find it easier to work with my enemy than my friends or family. You may not believe that. Because we know we go straight to the point. We go straight to the point, we are very objective, and we get things done, even done better, efficiently, than when you're working with a friend or family. This is one thing I found that all my life, for decades now. So therefore, those who have worked with me, they will understand that. Because when I'm working, I'm very focused, I'm very objective. I want to get to that finishing line. And if you're the one that will make my boss late, I will drag with me on the train to make sure we get there together. But I'm not going to let you drag me back. That's just it. I'm not going to let you. I will lift you up. I will help you, but I'm not going down with you.
And talking about leadership,
Yes.
congratulations on your new role as the mayor-elect for Southwark in
Thank you.
South London. What's inspired this vision, and what challenges have you faced along the way with this?
I never wanted to be a politician. Maybe you've read in my book, Unbroken, A Dream for My Sister. I touched that briefly. Maybe the next book I'll probably say something more. Earlier part of my life was in Nigeria, in Ibadan. So, and I was very close, to the Awolowo family. As you know, Babawolowo, the late Babawolowo, the late sage, was the president Nigeria never had. And I saw the Second Republic. I saw the sadness, the loss for all Nigeria, not just for Yoruba or West Africa, the whole Nigeria.
Mm.
And simply, sometimes when you want to do good, there are some people who they only thrive in a very chaotic environment. So therefore, they will never want it to succeed. If you look at Nigeria, compare the Western Nigeria, Yoruba land with the East or the North in the 70s and 80s. The educational standard, the socio-economic, then you notice the difference. Even if you are Northerner or Easterner, you live in Yoruba land, you learn a lot, you gain a lot, free education and everything. But what's the situation now? No job, no hope. So that, discouraged me from going to politics when I came to this country. Even though I was, probably read somewhere, I was the first union leader for part-time postal workers in this country. So, and the relationship between the post office and the Labour Party, my party. But I never joined. I mean, that was 89, probably not 89 to 94 during my school student days. Then, it took me until 1999 when I then officially joined the Labour Party as a member, and I've never left for a single day. But I wasn't active. But just a member, carrying my membership card, pay my membership fee since 1999 up to this day. But sometimes Yoruba people they say the step where you go take, you always take it whether you like it or not. Because professionally, I was working at all the levels, all the sectors, private, public, and voluntary sectors. So I was doing relatively well, And then post 2010, 12, when new government changed, everything changed. So we have to relearn what you've learned before. And this is a lesson for all of us professionals, because no job, no situation is permanent. This sector is doing very well today. Maybe another sector, that can become obsolete. Just look at things we do now. You have AI, you have DeepSeek, so you can't be complacent as a professional. You have to keep on reinventing yourself every day. So when the challenge happened, okay, it's either I swim or it's either I swam or drown. I decided to swim. So I have to look for other opportunities. And then the opportunity came for me to, diversify into politics, which I never wanted to. In fact, it was actually my godmother. Papa Aula was first daughter, late now, may I so rest in peace, who's my godmother, Mrs. Omotola, Chief Mrs. Omotola, who I remember he came to London and I was taking him to Hertfordshire to meet his older daughter, Kemi. And we were having conversation. She said, Sonny, are you considering, you've been here long enough, are you considering going to politics? And I remember saying to her, Mommy, I know I don't want to go into politics. You know what Papa went through. That's exactly what I say. You know what Papa went through now. Poly is not for somebody, who want to just face the main road, though, who doesn't want to go left, right, and center before you then come back to the various. So I was joking. He said, well, at least you are lucky you are in the UK. It's not the same as Nigeria. So go for it. Lo and behold, a few months after, that's when Labour was selecting candidates. And I saw the information coming through my post. I remember I'm qualified. So I said, okay, I live around here. Let me go for Peckham. Naively, I thought because I live in Peckham, I remember I would easily get selected. I was wrong. I was wrong. Well, I mean, because they will send your CV to different wards, and then the member of that ward will look at your CV and then call you for an interview. And then, obviously somebody who's already a member of that ward probably has a better chance than you, if unless he or she is not doing his or her own work very well, because they know that person very well. Before an outsider can come and break through the door, it's very difficult. But my Peckham, unfortunately for me, I didn't succeed being selected on my doorstep. Then the next ward, not too far from me, I didn't succeed. Then the third one, I didn't succeed. Then the fourth one, which is South Bermondsey. And South Bermondsey, you probably know our London borough very well. South Bermondsey is quite a very interesting area. Peckham has its own peculiarities. So also South Bermondsey. And very challenging area those days. And and then that's where I was selected to stand. And Labour had not won in that ward for 32 years. So it was a very strong Lib Dem ward. Very strong, Lib Dem, very, very strong there. especially with the popularity of Sir Simon Hughes, former MP for the area. So I put my heart in the ring. So they selected me there because is a marginal seat, extremely marginal. But with the glory of God, with hard work with my other two colleagues, we won in 2014. And I've been winning the war since then with my colleagues. This is my third term, which we started in 2022 and it's going to finish next year, May 2026. So for 4 years, this is my 12th year I'm in now, third term. So of course, without being elected councillor, there's no chance for me to become deputy mayor that was last year and then, mayor this year. So God has been faithful. So while coming back to what I said earlier, if any step you're going to take in life, you're going to take it. I think there was a passage in Bible, see Joshua. I can't remember what passage in Joshua that says you can run, but you can't hide. So here I am today. I'm a politician, councillor. So yeah, I hope that
Congratulations.
answered your question.
Very, very well. I mean, before we talk about your vision for Southwark
Mm,
in
mm,
the next 6 to 12 months,
mm,
how important is it for us to be the change we want to see in
mm,
society,
mm,
regardless of whether we hold political posts or not?
mm. I mean, if you go back to things I've done, I've set up projects, as you know, um, my community involvement probably more important to me. Even when I was doing all this, and people thought maybe I was interested if I was planning, doing it for my political ambition, which I wasn't. Otherwise, maybe I would have been MP or something by now. But I was doing it because it's my community, because I left the shores of Nigeria in 1986. And I found myself in Peckham with all these, complexities, challenges and so on. Maybe, living where Damilora Taylor, died, So, and just like you said, being, you have a part of the change you want to see. I didn't like what I saw. It was a very challenging estate, very challenging ward. And imagine you can't get your mail delivered. If you are lucky once in 3 months, you are lucky because people are afraid to go there. I found myself there. And you look around, you find young people, generations of young people, either they've been to prison and the cycle kept going. Then whether I'm in a group or church or anywhere, or if I find myself in this situation, difficult situation, I always ask myself, what can I do? People who know me, what can I do? Because there's no point whinging and complaining and blaming everybody else. Of course, other people may have blame. We should have done something, didn't do it, but we are where we find ourselves. Of course, the time for reevaluate and do is it another time. But right now, we want to get out of this hole. How do we get out of this hole? That should be our priority. So, and I'm a very practical person. It's not because I don't see the weaknesses or the neglect or of other people or you get other players, but the thing is that it's not helping anybody. What can I do? So that's how I got involved in tenants and resident association, setting up projects, as you know, some of Peckham supplementary schools, some of youth enterprise project, doing Blackism on helping young people to learn about their history, helping them with their own work, maths, English, drama, putting performance together, the Blackism and so on, while I was still working full time. I was still working full time there when I was just doing it for the community. Of course, when I then left, I think I did at, voluntary, as I said, voluntary sector, private sector, and public sector. So all the three sectors I was working. And then so I left Camden Council while I was working there. And then opportunity came in Southwark for me to come and develop some entrepreneurial projects, for them. So I then decided to start run BBI, which was a project which I started as a voluntary community support initiative as a member of the community, my own contribution there. Then that gave me the opportunity to then run it on full-time basis, or at least and become the executive director, and then started running it and doing projects at all levels, whether, local authority, London government, did, Job Center Plus. So I was doing all that, as I mentioned before. Then before I then transitioned into politics, so that's story of my life. So it's about being part of the change you want to see. As you mentioned earlier, those are my own practical ways of being part of the change or changes I wanted to see in a place where I call my home, in a community where I live, in a community where I saw challenges, I saw young people losing their lives. What can I do as my own little contribution to affect change positively? And that's what I've been doing. I will continue to do.
Okay, we're slowly coming to the end of the show, and we're
Yeah.
going to talk about your vision for Southwark in the next 6 to 12 months.
Mm, mm.
What we
Yeah, I mean,
don't-
it's one Southwark. That's the theme. One Southwark united to serve. So we are one, whether you're a man, you're a woman, you're LGBTQ plus, you're black, you're white, you have disability, we are one people united to serve. So therefore, as the first citizens of this borough, the great borough of Southwark, as a mayor, then my is to bring communities together. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but we're working together collaboratively. Those who are already here and those will come and join here within the next 12 months, how do we work together and make our borough safe and progressive and peaceful for everyone? So that's what I'm working towards with working with all the different agencies and individuals that can make that happen.
taking what you've just said into consideration,
Mhm.
in the long time I've known you, I mentioned inclusion, and
Yeah.
inclusion is something I think you have the natural art for, bringing people together from all different kinds of backgrounds. What is the secret behind good inclusion in the world we live in today?
I think, sometimes I would say sometimes your natural outlook is very important in your bringing. I mean, I come from a Yoruba culture, which principled around Omoluabi. And Omoluabi is a principle that makes you think about other people first, your community, bringing people together. Because when you have that concept of, or understand that concept of Omoluabi, that principle that surrounds it, that makes you have empathy for others, think you're accountable for your actions, make sure you love your fellow brother and sister and everybody. Of course, you are not perfect. Try your best to bring communities together. When there are the challenges, see what you can do to unite people, to build. When there's need for building community cohesion. I mean, that is what I learned from being a Yoruba person, from my, grandfather who was a chief in Nigeria, and from my dad also, and also from those who have been blessed to have as godfathers and godmothers and god sisters around me. Because every single person has something to contribute and to learn. Learning never stops. Learning is a continuum. So every single person, irrespective of the community they come from, the race they come from, the gender, the ethnicity, I learn from each person and I'm able to use that. But it's the background, is the basic foundation that they laid for me when I was growing up. that I begin to build on. Otherwise, if I didn't have that Omoluabi Yoruba principle, I probably wouldn't have been able to, to survive, because there are so many challenges I've come across. But every time I remember the Omoluabi principle, to bá lọ ṣe eléyìí, how will your parents, how will your family? Yeah, I remember my dad in the 80s when he wrote to me, bless his memory, we will always put in letter, remember of this, the son of whom you are. And what that means, the family reputation is more important than money, than gold or anything. Because when they see us walking on the streets, Rama, look at that, his daddy. So therefore, you always remember that before you get into trouble, before you get into any criminal activity, you already remember the family you come from. And that's very important to me. And that's what I try to instill in my own children as well. But whether all of them listen is a complete different thing, because you can force a horse to the river, but you can't force it to drink. Just like my parents, they didn't break my head and put it there, but they let me understand the importance of being a good person, or being a hardworking person, or loving. That's why I'm always smiling. Even sometimes when people say, "Are you always smiling?" I say, "Well, I'll be letting myself down because I'm sunny. I always make it sunny around me."
So it's so lovely to see you once again today, sir. Congratulations once again. We have your website details at the bottom of the screen.
Mhm.
Keep up the amazing work you're doing, and God bless you always.
And thank you to Tony. Keep on doing what you're doing. And if anybody want to contact me, sunnylambe.com. And also my social media is sunny at Sunny Lambe, or at Sunny A Lambe, because sometimes, some people may have taken your name or something. But I'm not on Facebook at the moment, but all that social media, LinkedIn and so on, I'm there. Thank you
Thank you.
so much, bro. Keep on doing what you're doing. Hopefully we catch up sometime soon.
Definitely, and God bless you.
You too, bro. Thank you.